You know, we've all got the choice every day, man. You want to be God or you want to be the devil. Choice is yours.
You are listening to Betterment.com's Tresoteric podcast, where we journey to the inside kingdom and unlock esoteric truths within. Now here is your host, the Omega Wolf of the tribe of Benjamin and eternal servant to the house of David, Brandon, son of Benjamin.
Happy 4th of July, brothers and sisters. What is up? What is up? This is the Tresoteric podcast, and we're broadcasting live from Phoenix, Arizona on this 4th of July, 2018. And I gotta tell you, man, we live in the best country on the planet. You know what? I'm a little biased. This is a really cool place. I'm grateful for where we live. We have everyone here from everywhere around the world, and we're a little microcosm of the world, man. We're all concentrated here, a coat of many colors, man. A lot to be proud of. My family, we come from Latin America, a little bit of Europe blended in that, and also to some Native American in that too as well. A lot of people in the United States don't even realize that most people have Native American blood. Our grandparents and grandparents and grandparents back then, they were getting busy, man, and a lot of people will be shocked once they go to their genetic testing and see where their origins are. They'll see that they have Native American blood. And in the Bible, man, there was this prophecy about a coat of many colors, you know, and it was given to Joseph. Anyway, that's a long story, but I believe this country is a representation of that coat of many colors. We are awesome as people. We can do incredible things together. We just got to stop that infighting, man, and just live on that positive kick. So today, I'm going to share something that I've been kind of promising some of my friends that I would share. And I first want to tell you, man, this world is magic. It's magic if you can see it through self-awareness. And if you observe the universe, you observe God, it's going to wink back at you and it's going to communicate with you. And it's going to show you some amazing things. And there's a lot of cookies out there that we can glean from the earth and we can collect. And we can find the pieces of the puzzles individually that we need to traverse this school that we're in called Earth, right? So I just want you right now, if you have a biblical background like I have, studied Hebrew, or you know it all about religion, man, forget about what you heard for this little broadcast here, all right? We're going to journey into the inside, all right? I don't want to argue with anyone about your literalist mindset. We're going to go, and I'm going to show you something amazing. You cannot flippin' make this stuff up. I'm going to show you a bit of magic, all right? I'm not a sorcerer. I'm not anything like that, so get it out of your mind. But I'm going to show you when you seek and you look on the inside, you're going to find, all right? So this one here, let's title this one, man, In Search of the Heart. In Search of the Heart, and why 717 is very, very important, all right? And this goes out to the individual who inspired me to go ahead and, give this message, man. So I'm really, really excited. You're awesome. Everyone's awesome. You know, I'm rooting for every single last one of you. So let's begin, all right? We're going to go and I'm going to show you some Bible verses. These Bible verses, we're going to animate them. They're going to come alive and they're going to explain themselves with hard fact, all right? There's no bending or anything like that. So we're going to start with a little Bible verse that's a pretty damn cool Bible verse. That's like one of my favorites, right? So we're going to go here to Proverbs 4:23. And it really says, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." There's something very special about the heart. And the majority of religion is going outside of their body and they're trying to find this place. They're trying to find heaven, right? And Yahushua, Joshua, Jesus, he said, look, man, it's not going to be made with observation. You can't see it, for the kingdom of God is truly inside you, man. And we still are forgetting that. I don't know how do we pound that in, but esoterically, man, this is where I like to retreat, is to the heart. All right. So I'm going to begin with a little prophecy, all right? In the book of Daniel, it was very prophetic. A lot of people take that stuff literally, and they're hanging on every word, and that's where the herd is going. That flock is just migrating to this literalist, waiting for calamity mindset, where people like me, we take the message and then we drill down and we try to analyze it from the heart to see, where is this hidden message? Where can we find this secret cipher? And I do believe I found something very, very special. So what I'm about to read to you right now is from the book of Daniel chapter 2, and it's this Babylonian king who has this vision, and this vision is of a tall statue that's made of bronze, gold, and silver. But one of the things I want to point out to you is that the toes of this monolith, all right, they were comprised of iron and carbon, all right? So iron and carbon, it's a really, really strange relationship. But iron is not really a natural occurring element in the world. Like, from what I understand, and don't hold me to this because I'm not a scientist, but from what I understand, iron, the ore, comes from meteorites. So it comes from like outer space, man, literally, like from heaven, right? Heaven. All right, so clay is basically earth. It's carbon. And what are we? We are carbon life forms. We are carbon-based life forms. And so we have this microcosm here of the heavenly iron, and then we have the carbon, which is kind of the human element. And, there's two different worlds. There's the heavenly and then there's the human. And we know that as humans, we can do some pretty gnarly stuff to each other, man. We covetous, we're jealous, we talk shit. We create a lot of our own problems. So there's a little beastly element to who we are, right? So I'm going to read this to you. I'm kind of summarizing it for you. Once again, don't let literalists come with you with their doomsday prophecies or whatever. For this exercise, we are going to go inside. I'm going to show you some really neat things, okay? So here we go, all right? So this is the prophet Daniel, and he's talking to the king, and then he's just summarizing basically the dream he had. He said, "You, O king, were watching, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose splendor was excellent, stood before you, and its form was awesome. This image head was of gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay." You see that, right? Partly of iron and partly of clay. You watched while a stone was cut out without hands, all right? So magically the stone was cut out of this monolith, which struck the image on its feet of iron and clay and broke them into pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and all the gold were crushed together and became like chaff and the summer threshing floors. The wind carried them away so that no trace of them was left. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth, all right? So that stone was responsible for breaking apart the feet and the toes that were mixed with iron and clay. And naturally, this monolith just goes bam, and it goes to the ground, right? And it becomes dust. And the whole thing in its splendor and greatness is destroyed because the iron and clay, And so I am going to analyze this iron and clay and what this means, all right? First and foremost, do you know that clay, which is carbon, has 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons? Yes, there is our 666. And I will introduce to you that the whole infatuation with the human race about 666, we have this beast that we've thought up in our mind, and it's got horns and it looks like the dude from Iron Maiden, and it's crazy, right? And we all get this like, oh, 666, the number of the beast, the devil, and people go nuts with that shit. But what I'm saying though is 666 is a human erroneous way of believing like a beast. 666 is living in the carbon, living in the tent that is in you without self-awareness. You are covetous, you are jealous, you are pissed, you have no vision of the heavenly, you have nothing but just a hand-to-mouth existence. And I'm not insulting anybody because I am a human too, man, and I suffer through this, but that is a very beastly existence of being a human. We're just modern plumbing away from really being an animal. I mean, we grow hair. Like I'm touching hair on my face right now. I mean, you got hair all over your body, and thank God, women, that you don't suffer from that, because there'd be a lot of problems, right? Anyway, so we are beastly as humans. We are. And then, so we have this form of godliness, like we're trying to really, or a few of us are really trying to find, what's our purpose, what we're doing here. So we're focusing on that. All right. Now I'm going to shift over to the real meat of what I'm trying to tell you here. And we're going to shift over to Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, man, the Keystone State. I have roots and family in Pennsylvania. I was born in Los Angeles, California. I was born in South Central LA. Yes, a privileged child, right? And probably had second world problems growing up. But my family's roots were in Pennsylvania. And I ended up moving to Pennsylvania when I was 14 years old. And I lived there. When I first got there, it was Amish country. I flippin' hated it. You take a city boy from Los Angeles, right? A sunshine boy. And you take him out of Los Angeles and that fast-paced lifestyle, and you drop him right into Amish country, where his backyard is a flipping cornfield, man. There's Amish people in freaking horse and buggies, man. And I used to tell my dad, Dad, take me to Baltimore. Let's go to Baltimore. I need a dose of the city. And he would take me to Baltimore. We'd go shopping, go to the movies, and hang out. And I would just love hanging around the skyscrapers and being downtown, because that's kind of how I was raised, right? And so, anyway, Pennsylvania, amazing, the Keystone State. Why do they call Pennsylvania the Keystone State? And so I was doing a little research here, and I don't do my videos all professional and theatric and stuff like that. I love to teach, so I love to yap and flap my gums, right? So just bear with me. So I have all of these here prepared, but Pennsylvania, here it is. Pennsylvania's nickname is the Keystone State because it was in the middle colony of the original 13 colonies, all right? And because Pennsylvania has held a key position in the economic, social, and political development of the United States, blah, blah, woof, woof. All right, so the Keystone. What the hell is a Keystone? Keystone State? Keystone beer? I know I drank Keystone beer when I was in high school because it was delicious. And I might even drink some sometime soon. All right, so let's go here and see what the hell a keystone is, right? And here is some images of a keystone. And remember what we just read from that little article there. It said because it was wedged in between all the 13 colonies. So you had 6 on one side, 6 on the other, and then it was the 7th that was like right in the middle, right? So theoretically, it was the 7th. 7, what an amazing number. Anyway, as you can see in this picture, here's a bridge. All right, going from left to right, there's the keystone. And the keystone kind of looks like this. I know the Pennsylvania road signs and stuff like that had this little image right there, the keystone. And it locks in like a key. It locks in like a key, and I imagine that you could slide this in horizontally and it would lock in, because this here, you can't really drop it in from the top. It would have to lock in sideways to lock in. But once it's in, it has all the load bearing of the whole structure in this keystone. So this is like the linchpin of the whole thing. I mean, all pressure and everything like that is on the inside, but foremost, it allows us to trek and cross over from one side to the other. Here's some more keystone things, right? There's a keystone, PA, really, really cool. All right, so why am I focusing on the Keystone State? All right, well, I mean, I have roots in the Keystone State, but before we get to that, I want to tell you about something that's really cool. I want to tell you about in the book of Revelations, all right? Once again, this is not literal. This is not literal. We're going esoteric, man. Screw what all of those doomsdayers are saying, man, because they're actually creating this. You know this. With their thoughts and their feelings, they don't know that they are basically powerful creators, and they're animating with this with their thoughts, and it will come true, and it will animate because they're creating it. And once the day of the lesson is all over, they're going to be held accountable and saying, hey, you know what? You were the beast. You were the one living in fear. You were the one who created this. Now answer for it. All right? But the just shall live by amunah, which is a Hebrew word meaning faith. We need to live by faith, and that means faith is good, man. Faith is faithful. Faith is good. We don't have to worry about calamity. But let's go on. In this scenario that I'm about to read to you in the book of Revelation, there are these 7 churches, all right? And this angel's talking to these 7 churches, right? And he basically indicts 6 of the 7 and says, man, you're trying, man, but this is what you're doing wrong. Bam. And then, if you don't change, you're going to get slapped up, basically. But one of the only congregations that was not indicted was the congregation of Philadelphia. Hey, that's in the Keystone State. That's pretty amazing. And Philadelphia means brotherly love. So, all right, that's something to go on right there. Brotherly love. It's basically not being an asshole. Always being kind and always trying to do for others. That's brotherly love, all right? Not being so easily offended and stuff like that, all right? So I'm going to read to you in this book of Revelation, all right? Really, really cool. And to the angel of the church in Philadelphia write, these things says he who is holy, who is true, he who has the key of David. There's the key, kind of like the Keystone State, right? So we have Philadelphia, we have key, and then we have David, all right? He who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens. I know your works, man. See, I've set before you an open door, and no one can shut it. If you have a little strength and have kept my word, all right, and have not denied my name. That word name in the Hebrew language, name means character, all right? It doesn't mean a specific name. So people right now are holding on to the name Jesus. They're like, Jesus. If you don't use the word Jesus, you're going to hell or whatever. Jesus is not a Hebrew name. It is a Latin. It is a Roman construct. You're not even in the right continent, Jack, if you think that's the name, all right? It's more like Joshua, Yahushua, all right? So anyway, people get hung up on name. Name in Hebrew means Shem, which is character, right? Indeed, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews and are not, but lie. Indeed, I will make them come and worship before you. So basically what he's saying is all of these people who are these religious zealots and they think they are Jews, meaning right-standing people, or genetic Jews or spiritual Jews, whatever the interpretation is, who say they are but they lie, I will make them come and worship before your feet and to know that I have loved you, Philadelphia. All right, I love you guys because you guys are the brotherly love peeps, man, because you have kept my command to preserve or persevere, and I will also keep you from the hour of trial which shall come upon the whole world. I will keep you from that, and it will test those who dwell on the earth. So this hour of trial is coming. I believe it's already here. Everyone is on trial right now, including myself, right? But you're going to, as a Philadelphian, because you express brotherly love, are going to be kept in a good situation. Behold, I'm coming quickly. Hold fast to what you have, which is that brotherly love, that no one may take your crown. See, you have a crown and you have a reward. He who overcomes, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go out no more. I will write on him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God, the New Jerusalem, which comes down from heaven from my God, and I will write on him my new name. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches, right? So we have like a lot of literalist things right here, but we're going to take a couple of different things here. We're going to take Philadelphia. We're going to take brotherly love. We're going to take he who has the key of David. What the hell is the key of David? All right. And there are imposters. There are those who say that they're down and they act like they're down, but truly they are fearful 666 peeps. They're animals. They express some type of godliness, but they're fearful. God's going to get you. God's going to get you. You know, the Arabs are going to get us, the Muslims, the terrorists. I mean, it's just rhetoric upon rhetoric upon rhetoric. Whereas the just, man, we got to live by faith. We got to live, we can't worry about things like that. We got to focus on brotherly love. And if you can focus on brotherly love all the time, you are a Philadelphian. Let's go back to the Keystone State. And also remember, I talked about and I spoke about the iron and the clay, all right? So here we go, all right? Here is a map. Let's go here. All right. Somewhere. All right, so here, let's do this. Let's do a map of Pennsylvania, all right? Actually, we don't need the map of Pennsylvania, all right? Yeah, we do. Map of Pennsylvania. All right. So I want to show you something very amazing here. All right. So here is a map of Pennsylvania. Let's see if we can blow it up pretty big here. All right. I lived right here in the middle when I grew up. I lived right in the middle of the Keystone State. Now, we just read about Philadelphia. Philadelphia is right here on the right. It means the city of brotherly love. All right. But look here to the left. Where are you, Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh is somewhere right around here. There it is. Pittsburgh. Very, very interesting. Now, I am going to tell you that this square box of a state, the Keystone State, this holds the mystery of the Key of David. This holds the mystery of the keystone. This holds the mystery of brotherly love. So remember how we talked about the bridge? The bridge goes across, and here's Philadelphia. That's where we want to be. We want to be in this brotherly, sisterly love mindset. There is rewards for being in that. All right? So that means that the keystone would have to be somewhere right in here. And we just read about the key of David. And David is so important because that's where I let off. I let off with this, man. Keep your heart with all diligence. Screw what everyone else says, for out of your heart, brothers and sisters, is the issues of life. Everything that you can imagine, and that's your subconscious mind. That's that solar plexus, man. That's in your gut, in your chest. That is that Ark of the Covenant. The Ark, it's an electromagnetic device that is plugged into all knowledge, brothers and sisters. All right, so let's go back to this map here. All right, let's talk about Pittsburgh. Let's talk about Pittsburgh. What is the football team in Pittsburgh? The Pittsburgh Steelers. But let's break down the name Pittsburgh before we go to the Steelers, all right? Pittsburgh Steelers. It is black and yellow, all right, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the name Pitt means like the bottomless pit. It's the pit, man. What do we say when things are bummed out? It's the pits. All right, the pit. And in the Bible, it's like they equivalent hell as being the pit, right? Pittsburgh. Berg is the German, meaning the dwelling place of, right? Pittsburgh. It's the dwelling place of the pit. All right, not a bad thing though. All right, I don't want you to get scared because mostly all of us are here in Pittsburgh. And black and yellow is what? What does black and yellow mean? You have darkness, which is the black, and you have yellow. The darkness is the human element. It is the 666. It is the rock, like you're thud, you're nothing. But the yellow expresses the heavenly, the sunlight. All right, light. So we are all little microcosms of this black and yellow. Each one of us are in this black and yellow. We want to be godly. We want to be brotherly. We want to be sisterly. But we can't get past this beastly shit that we always throw at each other. Jealousy, freaking agendas, just covetousness. We're always pissed off. We're always fearful. Fear. And I got to tell you this, man. Fear is the darkness. There is nothing worse than fear. Fear is the wellspring of anger. It is the wellspring of everything. And it is such a sly little devil because fear seems like a self-preservation method. Like if I fear, then I can be more cautious or whatever. No, and that's where the enticing comes in, right? So let's go back to the book of Daniel. It talked about the iron and the clay. That's the black and yellow. The iron is coming from the heavens as meteorites and things like that. And then you have the clay, the human element, and they collided. And together you have this black and yellow, the bee. We are the industrious bee because we are all black and yellow. There's a parable. We live in a hive called Earth. And I will suggest that the Earth is a learning place. What color is the school bus, brothers and sisters? Is it not black and yellow? You're in school, so don't be afraid. This is what we have to do. And the only thing that's going to get us here from the dwelling place of the pit, that mindset of black and yellow, all the way over is going to be the keystone. There's got to be a keystone right here in the middle, all right, that will get us over. But what is it, man? And we got to find that out. Black and yellow. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right? You can't make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. The Pittsburgh Steelers, let's talk about steel. What is steel, man? Here, look, I got a little article here. All right, here's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Colors mean a lot, too. Colors mean a lot. There are stories of colors. These are chakra colors, man. 7 chakras in your body, which are these energetic sources and stuff. 7. And we talked about the 7 churches. All right, 7 churches. Philadelphia was kind of wedged in the middle right there, and it was one of the 7. You know, here we have some colors. I'll tell you right now, yellow is your solar plexus. That's your breadbasket. All right. The blue is your throat chakra. It's your word. It's that energy, that word. That word has to go to hospitable ground. That word has to have fertile soil, arable land. All right, so there's a relationship between the blue and yellow, and together, what color does blue and yellow make? It's green, and I'll tell you the mystery of green, because green is the heart chakra. And I told you from the beginning to gird your heart with all diligence, because out of your heart is the reasons of life. So you have to possess the yellow and you have to possess the blue. Once you possess both of them, you can make green. This red is one of your base chakras, and that's basically your human side, man. That's like, but you need that. You need to be human. You need to be human while you're here on Earth testing. You will not lose your tent or your avatar, what you're living in. So it's very necessary. That's not to thrash what God made us. And when I talk about God, I don't know who God is, but we are here to learn, and you cannot make this stuff up once again. Look at the Steelers, though. They are, all of those things are in what seems to be an iron curtain. And the Steelers in the 70s, they were called, their defense was so good, they called themselves the Iron Curtain. All right. In order to make steel, you need 3 key ingredients. All right. How do you make steel? All right. As iron occurs only as iron oxides in the Earth's crust, the ores must be converted or reduced using carbon. Iron and carbon, the monolith of here, iron and clay. Those toes got jacked up because they can't fuse together. And that stone is basically the Christ consciousness, man. That's a stone. The Bible says it's a stone that the builders rejected. All right. He was the stone, and that stone in your body is your pineal gland. It is your pineal gland. Study that. That's a whole different subject. But here it is. Steelers. Here it is. You cannot make this up. Iron and clay, just like the monolith. And then if we go back and we talk about Pittsburgh, the dwelling place, the black and yellow, school's in, Jack. We're here to learn. We're all in Pittsburgh. The only ones that are going to get to Philadelphia, you need the key of David. You need the key of David. How are you going to cross over? You can cross over at any time, but you have to know about David. Let's talk about David. David was a young boy who did not have any fear. He was not perfect, but the Bible called him a man after God's own heart. David was all heart, dude. David killed a man, dude. David made so many mistakes, but you know what? It was his heart. He was forgiving. He forgave himself. And that's a big part of becoming the heart of David. You cannot get over to Philadelphia until you express this heart of David, all right? And on another video, I've been talking to you guys about it. I'm going to show you guys a 350-mile wide eagle that is somewhere that has been given to us as a reminder about Philadelphia. I'm going to show you the impossible. I'm going to show you that you cannot make this shit up. There are little cookies all around the earth that we can glean and we can learn from, all right? So here it is, man. The iron and the clay, all right? We right now are black and yellow. We are in Pittsburgh. Do you know that Pittsburgh is the three-river city? You have the Monongahela River, and then you have the Allegheny River, and right in between that is Pittsburgh, and then they form together to form the Ohio River. The three rivers right there, and nested in the middle is Pittsburgh. Do you know that in ancient Babylon, it was fused into three rivers? You had the Tigris, you had the Euphrates, and they came together, and in that little crescent right there was Babylon. And then ultimately would go out into the Persian Gulf, the third river. All right, three rivers like Babylon. This is a microcosm of Babylon, and it was there. We were there to learn. We were there to learn. Guys, we got to get off of this beastly mindset that we're getting here to be punished or we're in prison or something. No, we're here to learn love, man. And that mystery of 7, I'm going to tell you, you got to go back, Jack, and do it again. We're going to be here 7 times. 7 times. I'll get to that some other time. That is a mystery. That's what I've come to conclude, is that school is in session, and you're going to complicate it because that is your 666 carbon side. You're going to complicate what's not complicated. You're going to add so much mystery. You're going to create volcano gods. You're going to create these gods that are sectarian warlords that are fighting over pieces of land, when the real piece of land to fight for is that cavity in your chest, all right? That solar plexus, that green chakra. So you have 2 tribes in between that green heart chakra. You have the yellow, and the yellow is your solar plexus. Think about the yellow sun. And then grab your throat right there. That's your word. That's the word that you as a creator can send forth to your solar plexus, and you can declare a good word, man. I am abundant. I am happy. I am not fearful. You are now working that blue and yellow, B and the Y. B and the Y. You know that B and the Y? Those were the 2 pillars that stood in front of the temple in the Bible. All right, there was, I forget the name now. I think it was Yabish and Boaz were the 2, B and the Y, blue and the yellow. Together, you have to blend them. You have to use the word, and then you have to use the breadbasket, the temple, to get that word, and together they will make green. All right, so let's continue, man. David. All right. So in that day, I will raise up the tabernacle. See this word tabernacle right here? This is the Hebrew word sukkah, which means a tent, all right? And there's been many times in the scripture that says our bodies are the tent. In that day, I will raise up the body of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. All right, so David, the spirit of David is coming in. I do believe that Master Yahushua was the incarnation of David again. That's what I believe. You know, nothing very pivotal or anything like that. My respects to both of them. Anyway, I glean from these esoteric stories, man, and I kind of feel them from a different dimension. All right, so now let's go ahead and look. I want to show you something very, very amazing. I think I got a lot of information out now. All right, the Keystone State. I lived smack dab in the middle of the Keystone State. All right, I lived right here. Look at this, man. So if this is the Keystone State, somewhere in the middle to get to Philadelphia, there has to be something in the middle that is David. The key of David. We got to find the key of David. Let's go. Let's continue on here, man. Let's see. Here is a Pennsylvania area code map. And I was telling my friend about 2 years ago, I was like, man, there is something amazing about 717 where I lived. I lived in area code 717 right here in the middle. And you can see Philadelphia is 215. All right. And then here's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is something like, I want to say 412. All right. 412. I haven't studied those numbers or anything like that, but 717. What is so important about 717? And I was telling my friend that And she was like, I don't know. What does 717 mean? I go, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. And I did. I found out. Behold, I'm going to show you how to spell David. How do you spell David in Hebrew? It is a dalet, wa, dalet. Those three letters. There's no vowels in Hebrew. Dalet will say, some say vav, but it's just a W. All right? It's D-W-D because there's no vowels in Hebrew. That's Dawid. Dawid. And Dawid in Hebrew means beloved. Beloved, right? We're dealing with the heart. We're dealing with the heart of David. Now I'm going to show you how to spell David. David. Dalet. Wa. Dalet. Is that not a 717? You cannot make this stuff up. The world is alive. We are alive as creators. We've been planted here to find out what you're made of. And everyone is going to pass. It's just going to take some longer than others until they can find the brotherly love. Let's go and let's take a look at this map, man. Let's go. You want to go from Pittsburgh, the black and yellow, the iron and the carbon. All right. And here's the deal, man. In order for you to make steel, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the black and yellow, there's three key ingredients. There's iron, there's carbon, and recycled steel. You do it again until you get it right. Hopefully those who listen to this will understand that to get to 717 or to get to Philadelphia, you got to go across David. And David in Hebrew is basically two words, man. To us in English, it means beloved. But the two words, you break them apart, it's beloved. You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself and go into the middle. Go into the middle. And all these crazy pastors and crazy sheep and doomsdayers and you're not worshiping the way I'm worshiping, so you must be some type of heathenoid or whatever. Stay the away from them. Go and retreat to the sanctuary of that heart. Do nobody wrong. Do nobody wrong. Cultivate what is yours. Cultivate that, but always stay in that positive vibration. In front of your temple, there is a B and there is a Y. That is blue and that is yellow. That is Boaz and that is, what is it? Yakim. Yakim is the word. It means strength and speed. Strength and speed. The word comes from your throat. That's the blue chakra. The bread basket is where that word is. That bread of life goes there into that bread basket. That's your solar plexus. All right. They have to be in relationship to make green. Okay. Green. Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Eagles. They're green. All right. And there's a scripture in the book of Revelation that's like talking about, and I think it's in Revelation 9, man. And so there's like a lot of cool things in here. I think it's Revelation 9. And it says something like there's a curse coming upon, and it says, here, let's take a look here. Let's see. Let's do F3. Let's do F3. All right. It's not going to let me. Oh, hold on. Okay. Let's see. It says, anyway, it says like you can, okay. All right. Locusts came upon the whole earth, and there was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth or any green thing. All right. So any judgment that's coming that was probably brought upon us because of our actions, our disbelief, and everything like that, if you're green, you're not going to be harmed. That means that green chakra. All right, green chakra. Let's go back to our map once again here, man. Let's go back, 717. There is the name of David. Let's go back to Revelation, man, where it says here in, let's see. Oh, I might have closed it. Yeah, I did. Revelation chapter 3, man, right? In order for you to get to Philadelphia, the faithful church, man, He who has the key of David, the keystone state. The keystone state right here, the key of David. You want to get from school, Pittsburgh, you want to cut it short so you can go on to whatever's in line for us, but we're here to learn. Get to Philadelphia. You need to have the heart of David. All right. Anyway, hopefully I didn't confuse too many of you. There's a lot going on inside me. So I just want to thank you guys, man. I appreciate you. All you guys, man. Even those who drink pale ale, which is kind of disgusting, right? IPAs. And you know who I'm talking about. You know who you are. Anyway, have a good one. Happy 4th of July. Don't freaking blow your hand up, man. Have a good time. Don't get too sloppy, and enjoy yourself. This is Brother Brandon. You're listening to Tresoteric. Subscribe, share with your friends. I think this is a really neat story, but you can't make this shit up. Have a good one. Thank you.